Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a new AFK fish farm in your world in the 1.11 update for the Bedrock Edition, or the Village and Pillage update. In this update they have actually made a small bug fix that has been plaguing AFK fish farms since the very beginning of Bedrock Edition. This has seriously been around since the very start of Bedrock Edition, and it has finally been fixed, so now we have many more opportunities to make decent little AFK fish farms, and that is what I'm going to show you how to build in this video today. So that bug fix is that tripwire hooks will actually be able to accurately detect the fishing bobber. Before, the fishing bobber would bob up and down and not be reliable. It would activate your tripwire hook all the time, but now it only activates it once you actually catch something, which is the way that it should be and the way that it now functions properly. So right now it's a little bit bugged out, but as you can see, once we catch that fish, it goes down and then it would reactivate your tripwire hook. So it's a pretty nice little change that allows us to make a much simpler and much easier to build farms that are completely redstone free as well. As you can see, this system is more or less one wide, so you can compare this new design to the Semi-AFK design that I just did a tutorial on a couple of months ago. This one actually still works perfectly reliably and catches every single fish 100% of the time. Super nice design that still works perfectly. And yeah, this new one is just kind of modeled off of this slightly, but as you can see, the new one is significantly smaller and completely redstone free as well, whereas this one has redstone components and an alarm system and all kinds of things going on with it. This one is significantly cheaper and simpler to build. However, if you are playing on a console, either Xbox or Switch or what have you, or if you just do not have access to an auto clicker, you're still going to want to use this Semi-AFK design, because the design that I'm showing you how to build in this tutorial today does require an auto clicker. So if you don't want to use an auto clicker or you don't have access to one, build these ones. Unfortunately, there's not really any fish farms on Bedrock Edition that don't use auto clickers. We don't have that kind of technology at the moment. So how exactly do you use this AFK fish farm? Well, basically what you got to do is just kind of nestle yourself right here in this corner, grab yourself your luck and lore 3 fishing rod, and then basically just aim right about there, and you should cast your bobber right into the water. Yeah, right about there. So you basically want to have the top of your crosshair be right underneath that bottom right corner of the iron trapdoor square, and that'll get your bobber in the absolute correct position so that every time you catch a fish, it falls through the bottom of the water. Now, because we're using a tripwire hook, this isn't as reliable as you might think it is, so I would say it catches around 90% of the actual fish that you catch. See, like that one didn't catch, but most of the time when you actually catch a fish, it will fall all the way through to the hopper, and then next time you go to collect it, you'll get your experience and your loot as well. So yes, so this design does have some flaws because we are using the tripwire hook, but it is smaller, cheaper, and easier to build than the Semi-AFK design, even if you are using a auto clicker, so it's a decent alternative in case that one does ever break. So again, the cons of this new design is that because we are using an auto clicker and a tripwire hook, you don't catch a fish every single time that bobber goes down. It's pretty reliable, but there's always going to be a small chance that you do not get an item when that bobber goes downwards. And also, because we're using an auto clicker, occasionally items will end up in your inventory. I've tried to fix this, but basically you just put a hopper right underneath where you're standing and that'll collect the items once your inventory fills up. Not really a big deal. You could consider it as extra storage in the form of your inventory. So those are pretty much the main flaws of this new design. So let's start building this thing, shall we? The materials that you'll need to build your actual AFK fish farm are basically the contents of my inventory right here, and the exact quantities that you need as well. Any type of wall, any type of block, any type of slab, any type of sign, and any type of fence gate, of course, so you can build this thing to look however you want it to. However, you will need an actual iron trapdoor. You cannot cheap out and use the wooden trapdoors those ones do not work. And also you'll want a pretty decent fishing rod to start off with, but as you start fishing, you'll get better enchanted ones. However, long term, you'll want a fully maxed out one so that you get the best possible loot from your farm. Okay, so go ahead and place just a double chest on its side right here. That's going to be your main storage that you can of course expand into whatever you want. We also want to go ahead and place our wall right here. This is where we're actually going to be standing to use our AFK fish farm, which will be in this area right here. Go ahead and place one temporary block right here with a solid block above it, and then just place your sign right there. You want to go ahead and remove this block and place a hopper going into that chest, and place a fence gate on top of that hopper in that exact orientation. Another fence gate above that one in the opposite orientation, as you can see there, and then place a solid block to the side of it. Loop back around, and you want a solid block behind that fence gate, and then an upper slab to the left of this fence gate right here. That does need to be a slab. So now we can go ahead and go behind this thing again, get yourself a temporary block and a iron trapdoor right there. Go above this with a temporary block and out with one solid block. That's where one of your tripwire hooks is going to be going. You want a temporary block above that wall with another solid block above it, and that is where your other tripwire hook is going to be going. Go ahead and place one piece of string in between those two, and that is pretty much your entire farm done. Now you just need to go ahead and waterlog that area and you are good to go. So if you're planning on going AFK for long periods of time, what I would suggest doing is actually expanding the storage a little bit. So basically just move your double chest to the side real quick and then remove that block and basically just install 2 additional hoppers right here. That'll catch all the items that go into your inventory, all the items that go behind you, and all the items from right there. It's kind of janky, but it's about the best we can do when we are using a tripwire. The tripwires honestly aren't as good as I thought they would be, but again, it's a decent alternative to that design over there. So let's check out how we use this thing once again. So again, we're just gonna go right into this corner right here, and since we don't want to collect items into our inventory, I'm just gonna fill up my inventory with some subscribe pies, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So I now want to go ahead and click right in that general area. That should put the bobber into the water. Get the top of your crosshair right below that like bottom right corner of your iron trapdoor. I'm going to switch to a different item and recast, and now I'm going to activate my auto clicker. That is going to activate once every second or once every 1000 milliseconds, and that is going to be the optimal timing for this AFK fish farm to function properly for you. I've tried it around for a whole bunch of different timings. However, I did not have nearly as much success with any other timings besides exactly 1000 milliseconds. So there will be a link to the auto clicker that I use down below. However, it is only for Windows 10 or PC Minecraft basically. If you are on mobile, you will have to find some on the App Store, but it's basically a really simple auto clicker. It's been working fine for me so far, so I hope that you guys don't have any issues with it. So I hope this new design works wonders for you guys in your worlds. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then of course be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Always trying to help you guys out as best as I possibly can. And again, if you are playing on a console, then you will need to use the old design because console does not have any form of auto clickers. So definitely check out that video, and even if you just like this this AFK fish farm, check out that video in general because it is kind of just a better AFK fish farm. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like on the video. Helps out the video and the channel greatly. Do appreciate it. If you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next tutorial that I upload. But I'll see you all down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you again for watching, and then there was silence.